I'd like to share a reading from the Joseph Campbell Foundation on the work of Joseph Campbell. Follow your bliss. So this is an excerpt from an interview with Joseph Campbell and Bill Moyers. Bill Moyers asks, do you ever have the sense of being helped by hidden hands? And Joseph Campbell answers, all the time. It is miraculous. I even have a superstition that has grown on me as a result of invisible hands coming all the time. Namely, that if you do follow your bliss, you put yourself on a kind of track that has been there all the while, waiting for you, and the life that you ought to be living is the one you are living. When you can see that, you begin to meet people who are in your field of bliss. And they open doors for you. I say, follow your bliss and don't be afraid. The doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be. What did Joseph Campbell mean by follow your bliss? What makes you enthusiastic? Follow it. So a motto or aphorism of Campbell was to follow one's bliss. Where is your enthusiasm? So I have a little word, follow your bliss. The bliss is the message of God to yourself. That's where your life is. Determining what one's bliss might be isn't simply a matter of choosing whatever one wants and then waiting for the universe to hand it over. We don't will our bliss. We discover our bliss. How do you discover your own bliss? A dictum from Socrates is relevant here. Know thyself. To find your own way is to follow your own bliss. This involves analysis, watching yourself and seeing where the real deep bliss is, not the quick little excitement, but the real deep life-filling bliss. We are having experiences all the time, which may, on occasion, render some sense of this. A little intuition of where your bliss is, grab it. No one can tell you what it is going to be. You have to learn to recognize your own depth. It is not just what you want, I'd like to be the next Hemingway, but a matter of your passion. What do you keep coming back to? What catches your soul and will not let you go? There is a world of difference between wanting to play the guitar like a rock star and always having a guitar in your hand, practicing 6 or 8 hours a day because you love music and making music, because this is what you would rather be doing more than anything else in the world, even if there's no money in it, no fame, because this is your bliss. Bliss and rapture. Campbell sometimes describes bliss as rapture, which is likely to be very different from one's will. You might consciously will to become a lawyer or a computer programmer or news anchor, but if your bliss, your passion, your calling is music or preaching or teaching or building or writing, then by all means follow the call. This is the path out of the wasteland. Our bliss is what, where, and how we feel most authentically ourselves. This is what we are doing when time drops away and we reside in an eternal now. Eternal means more than forever. From the Latin or outside, and ternum or time. That which is eternal exists outside time. It transcends time. When you are in your bliss, ego concerns dissolve. You aren't thinking about that misunderstanding with your sister or what you should do for dinner, how you're going to pay the light bill next Tuesday, or what's on television tonight. When you are in your bliss, whether that bliss is sculpting clay or crunching numbers, time ceases to exist. Critics of follow your bliss. Though this maxim clearly strikes a chord in the popular imagination, many new to Campbell's work find the phrase elusive. A few critics have said that, quote, following one's bliss, end quote, is a reckless and hedonistic prescription, code for doing whatever the heck you want. Countless others who never heard of Joseph Campbell embrace the phrase as a sort of magic mantra. A closer read suggests something deeper. If your bliss is just your fun and your excitement, you're on the wrong track. I mean, you need instruction. Know where your bliss is, and that involves coming down to a deep place in yourself. The terminology of bliss. Throughout his life, Joseph Campbell spoke about following his zeal, following his enthusiasms, his interests, his passions. But over time, his study of mythology supplied the wording we're familiar with today. Now, I came to this idea of bliss because in Sanskrit, which is the great spiritual language of the world, there are three terms that represent the brink, the jumping off place, to the ocean of transcendence. Sat, Chit, Ananda. The word Sat means being. Chit means consciousness. Ananda means bliss or rapture. I thought, I don't know whether my consciousness is proper consciousness or not. I don't know whether what I know of my being is my proper being or not. But I do know where my rapture is. So let me hang on to rapture, and that will bring me both my consciousness and my being. I think it worked.